If you're looking for a full tutorial on how to use Merlin Bird ID, stick around because I've been using Merlin for almost 5 years now, and in this video I'm going to show you everything that I found inside of this app. So once you open up the app, the very first thing that you're going to see is your bird of the day. And this is a fairly new update that they just released, but basically every day it picks one bird that is fairly common in your area to just give you a suggestion for what to go look for when you go out birding. And once you've found your bird of the day, it'll come up with a little check mark. And then if you want to, you can share it with people. After that, there's step-by-step ID, so if you see a bird and you don't know what it is, Merlin can help you figure that out. So we'll go ahead and do Waco, Texas for a location, do it for today, and then the next thing that you're going to have to put in is the approximate size of the bird. So we'll go ahead and go with sparrow-sized or smaller, pick what colors it was, and then the activity that the bird was doing. And then it's going to give you a whole list of possible birds that you may have seen. And so you can go through that list and see if any of those look like the bird that you saw. And if you want to get a little closer and maybe find some more information out about that bird, look at a couple different pictures of it, read a description about what it looks like, where it's found, stuff like that. And then you can listen to some sounds from that bird, and then you can also see their range map. After you do this, you can report the bird with eBird. That'll open up eBird Mobile. I already have it downloaded on this iPad, so it's going to open up that. Or there's also a setting that you can just report it with Merlin. So go ahead and go out of this, and then the next thing that we have, and this is by far what I use this app the most often for, and that is sound ID. So it will listen to birds sing and then try to figure out exactly what bird is singing, and I found that it's very accurate. It does occasionally make some mistakes, especially with similar sounding birds, or if it can't hear the bird very well. But the technology keeps getting better and better, and is definitely a lot better than what it was a couple years ago. You can also do photo ID, so if you have a photo of a bird and you're not sure what it is, it'll basically do about the same thing as step-by-step ID. It'll just give you a whole list of birds that the photo could resemble. After that, we've got My Sound Recordings, which is just from the Sound ID tool. If you were to save a recording, this is where it would be later on if you want to export that recording to a device to edit it and then maybe upload it to the Macaulay library, or just replay that recording and listen to the bird again if you're trying to make an identification. So that's all there is on the Home tab. Next we'll go to Explore. First we'll go ahead and do likely birds. So we'll put in our location, what date we want to pull from. For now we'll just do today. And then you can sort by the most likely birds. You can sort by family. You can sort by family, and then inside of families it'll sort by which is most likely. That's the one that I always do. And then if you want to, you can go from alphabetic. Then you can also sort alphabetically if you want to do that. And then you can also hide birds that are on your life list, and we'll get to a little bit more of how it knows your life list in a little bit. So we'll go ahead and show all the birds, and then here on the right we have these green icons, and that's just a quick way to sort through different families. So if we want to get to the hawks quickly, tap on the hawk and then it'll take us to vultures, hawks, and allies. And then if we want to do wood warblers, go to this little bird on a branch, get to wood warblers quickly. And then if we want to do blackbirds, go down to the bottom one. So that's just a quick way to sort through the families. You can also just scroll through the whole thing if you want. But as far as the actual birds in here go, the blue check mark is whether or not you have it on your life list. The yellow circle here is indicating that that bird is uncommon. It's not quite rare, but it's not super common either. And then a red dot would mean that it is considered rare. However, if it has a red dot in Merlin, that does not mean that it's going to be considered rare in eBird. We also have a bar chart on here that's showing us when a certain bird is most likely. And then we've got the months of the year on there. So we can see belted kingfishers are least likely to be found in the summer, and then more common in the fall and winter. If a bird is not on your life list, then it's just not going to have that blue check mark. So to continue in the Explore area, we can just show all installed birds for any pack. We'll get to how to install a pack in a little bit. So if I wanted to just pick a certain pack, I can do that right here. And then I can also hide birds that are on my life list. This is actually a fairly new feature. Before, you could only hide birds on your life list if you were searching in the likely birds area. now you can hide all the birds that are in a pack that are not on your life list. So if you just want to see those, we can do that this way. Next up, we'll go to life list, and I have it pulling from my eBird life list right now, just links to your Cornell Lab account. If you were to report a bird on Merlin, it would also show up in here. So you can search birds on your life list here, or just scroll through it. It shows you what location you saw that bird at and then what date too. You can sort by family, newest seen first or oldest first. And so moving on to settings, you can link your Cornell Lab account here at the very top. For bird packs, we go and click on that. We can see nearby packs based on our current location and all the packs we have installed. If you want to delete a pack, you just swipe to the left. Then we can also see all packs, and then we can search for packs too. So if I wanted, let's say, birds of the Rocky Mountains, just search Rocky Mountains, and then that would come up. If we go back in settings, you can change which language you want the bird's common names to be displayed in, whether or not you want the Latin names to also be displayed. You can also have a notification to send you a daily reminder every morning of what your bird of the day is, if you would like that. And then some sound ID. I would like to have it move live matches up to the top, because then you can just see very quickly what bird you're hearing right away. And then you can also see all the birds that are supported in Sound ID. They're working really hard to get it to expand to as many birds as they can, but right now all they've got is 1,382, which covers most of the United States. I'm not exactly sure what their international coverage is, but judging by how many species this is, I think it's pretty good. You can also change how you like to save your sightings. If you're using eBird, I would recommend doing that. If you don't have an eBird account yet, I'll link my eBird tutorial in the video description below if you'd like to check that out. I highly recommend eBird. If you're doing some more serious birding, definitely get eBird. It's a lot easier to submit birds in eBird when compared to Merlin. But for now, if you'd like to, you can just save your sightings using Merlin. So that's really all inside of Merlin. If you have any questions about what I've been talking about today, or would like me to go a little deeper in something, go ahead and put those in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to get back to you as quick as I can. If you'd like to check out my eBird tutorial, you can go ahead and do that right here. Again, eBird is a phenomenal tool for tracking down birds and logging birds. Merlin is more about identifying birds. Its strong suit isn't listing birds, and eBird definitely comes in very handy there. So you can go and check that out right here, and I'll see you in the next video.